Are you searching for a deeper understanding of your faith?
Inspiring Philosophy is your go-to resource for exploring the rich tapestry of Christian thought.
From biblical archaeology to philosophy of mind, we dive into the topics that matter.
Our content bridges faith and understanding, offering insights into God's existence and the reliability of the New Testament.
Join a community where faith meets reason and discover the answers you've been seeking.
Inspiring Philosophy, where faith meets understanding.
I'm sorry, Master, but I must go all out. Just this once. I don't like you, Muhammad. Dawa boys, you've left me no choice. Bible's been corrupted, that should go to line. But you claim the same book, prophesize your sign, twisting every scripture, faking all the quotes, hiding all the facts, trying to keep your boat afloat. Without lies, Islam dies. Perfect preservation, yeah, that myth got wrecked. Worldly Quran don't even match the text. Used to flex science, now you backing away, cause camel embryo facts don't hit the same today. Got the Islamic dilemma, you can't solve that. Every answer you give makes the problem snap back. Say the Bible's corrupt, but your own book cries. Bibles are Allah's words, they can't be revised. If Allah's words can't change, then your claims are fraud. You just argued yourself against the word of your God. In Jill's secret book, that's your mystery prize. But the Quran said Christians should judge by it. Lies, then your crew pulled muted like it's just a game. Ruined the life and trashed a man's name. All that Dawa talk, but when truth appears, you vanish from the chat like it hurt your ears. Without lies, Islam dies. Can't hide truth, can't spin those lies. Without lies, Islam dies. Dawa cries when the facts arise. Without lies, Islam dies. Can't hide truth, can't spin those lies. Without lies, Islam dies. Dawa cries when the facts arise. We follow Jesus better, sure in your dream. While cutting out his claims like you're cropping the meat. Crown off his head, toss his cross in the bin. They smile for the camera like you're still his kin. Jesus was a Muslim, cute little twist. Redefine the word so the facts don't exist. If labels could change what the records prove. If Pharaoh was a Yahweh fan, and Judas stayed true. Muhammad in the Song of Solomon, boy, you made your prophet a fruit. Snuggled up with Solomon and came the man of Ozu. Without lies, Islam dies. Can't hide truth, can't spin those lies. Without lies, Islam dies. Dawa cries when the facts arise. You preach perfect text, but the proof ain't there. Half wash, even your readers don't care. Call the Bible corrupt, but still quote it loud. Trying to find Muhammad just to please your crowd. Song of Solomon, yeah, that's your flesh effect. You just wrote your prophet in the Solomon's bed. Then the man of Al-Zu came riding through all night long, and you say that's true. Jesus was a Muslim, the word plays dead. By that logic, Pharaoh bowed his head. You twist, you spin, but you can't disguise that every Dawa claim is built on lies. Without lies, without lies, without lies, without
I have a message for all the Muslim men out there. I just want you to know we're very concerned. You see, after DebateCon, there were TikTok lives going around about Muslim men who wanted to strip David down to his underwear. And then Libiano had been looking at photos of Than, thinking very provocative thoughts. And then the other last week, we saw that Muhammad Ajab had a creepy gay BDSM fantasy about me. So my message to all the Muslim men watching us three on the screen, lower your gaze. We are taken. We are straight. We are not interested. Please stop with your advances. Please move on. Get some help. This is pathetic.
Yeah, we ain't Muhammad and you ain't the men of Al-Zut. So get those thoughts out of your head. You ain't doing that stuff to us.
Yeah, Muhammad is your pattern of conduct, not the men of Al-Zut. Okay, you guys got that mixed up somehow. So unfortunately, you cannot be on the pitcher's end, I guess is what the term is. So back off. We are not interested in your weird fantasies you have about us. Okay.
Hey,
Ridiculous.
Hey, speaking about Muhammad Hijab, now I'm sure you've seen it, but even some of his fellow Muslims are saying he was obviously drunk or high during
seen
that
that.
live stream. So
Yeah.
we'll start the countdown now. We'll start the countdown now, because if Muslims are catching on, then he's going to have to explain it away, because he's not supposed to be drinking, you know, in Islam. So he's going to have to say that I would anticipate in advance, he's going to say that it's pain medication. It's heavy pain medication for some injury while training for MMA or something like that. Just watch, get countdown timer.
If that's the case, he should not be doing. There's no way out of this where he looks clean, because even if that's true, he should not be doing call-in streams high on pain medication.
That's
like, there's no way he comes out of this looking clean. It's pretty pathetic. It's pretty bad. So yeah, I saw Faris Al Hamadi. I guess that's how you say that. Yeah, as well as Knowledge North calling him out for this, as you posted. I was like, yeah, it's getting pretty bad when even Muslims are recognizing his behavior looks very suspicious. But I mean, like, he has these weird BDSM gay fantasies now, and it's like really creepy.
To be fair, that's just hijab. That is not hijab under the influence. That is hijab. He's been saying that stuff for years. He can't say that's just because, you know, he's high on something.
Yeah,
like his slurred speech and just really weird way of speaking and so on. I've been around plenty of people under the influence of various substances. It's some sort of downer, so like weed or something else or alcohol. But yep.
It's kind of weird, but man, I can't talk tonight. I don't know what my problem is, but anyway, kind of weird. But you know what? Also, Muhammad Hijab is. You know what he's also into? Child marriage. Yeah, he's been promoting that for years. If you didn't know that, pretty weird.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So, but lately, I've noticed for some reason there's been a surge of Muslims on like Instagram and TikTok, like trying to defend or explain away child marriage, and it's just getting pretty pathetic. So we're going to review some of those tonight. And my God, the what they're saying now is just getting crazier and crazier.
Usually just flat out lies. Just like especially like TikTok, they understand there's just tons of ignorant people out there, so they'll just say it and expect people to believe it. They don't realize it's kind of short-term gain, long-term loss. Because short-term, yeah, you can lie to a bunch of completely ignorant people who've never read any sources. They've just heard people criticize Muhammad for this, but then you say, nope, it's not true, and that may work for a little while, but eventually you're exposed as a liar. So long-term, you're exposed as a liar.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
this is all a dawa.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that because Sheikh Uthman, one of the biggest liars over there, is going to come up today because, I mean, again, he had to get on the action and once again try to explain away Muhammad's marriage to Aisha at 6, which was then consummated at 9. But yeah, we will get into that. Let's take these super chats first, and then we'll start playing some videos here. Dungeon Pastor says, "Happy birthday to me. I'm giving out gifts. Use this to do something fun with your family. God bless." All right. Well, we will split that evenly, and we will go buy some bubblegum, I guess.
I will go get a McChicken.
Yes. Saw a cool quote that seemed like it was from David Wood. "I haven't even begun to exhaust you," but then I saw it was Mike Winger. Oh, it's copying you now. It's pretty rude.
Could also be Muhammad on the night of Al-Zut.
That'd be the Al-Zut talking, I guess, then. Thank you for the the gift there, Young Redeemers. Thank you, Randy, for gifting 5 Inspiring Philosophy memberships. One of our best supporters here, always gifting out memberships. Who's y'all favorite character in the Bible? Jesus. That's kind of a rule if you're a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You should be asking who's your second favorite character. That's what you got.
Yeah, or who's your favorite not major character? Like not Jesus, not Paul, not Peter, not John. Like who's your favorite not main character?
Yeah.
And I would go with
I don't know. I'm thinking.
I like Micaiah. I'm not sure how to pronounce it because I only read it. He's the one. He's the one where the king of Israel brought out all the priests of all the prophets of Baal, and the king of Judea said, "Come on, don't you have another one?" He goes, "Okay, there's one, but he never says anything good."
Oh yeah.
And then Micaiah comes out and he's like, "Go and be victorious, king." He's like, "I know you're lying, dude. I know you're lying because you never say anything good about me." He's like, "Yeah. In reality, I saw all you guys dead all over the battlefield and stuff." And then the king says, "Lock him up until we get back." And he says, "If you ever come back, I'm not a real prophet." And yeah, I love that dude. That dude is hilarious, man.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I do like him. I don't know. I'll just say Michael the Archangel, since that's who I'm named after, just for that simple, because I can't think. So there. I believe Allah is Yahweh fan in a lowly con. I have no idea what this even is. Than, do you know what this is? This sounds like some sort of anime weirdo stuff.
It's anime stuff. You don't concern yourself with this, Mike.
Okay, that's right. I won't. All right. Pain meds for inflamed behind? I certainly hope not, but I wouldn't be surprised given his weird fantasies he likes to talk about when he's high on or drunk. I mean, it's got to be one of the two, the way he was acting. That's exactly what it appeared. And so many people have been pointing that out. Thank you, Pastor Tony, for gifting 10 Inspiring Philosophy memberships. Another great supporter of the channel. We're up to 15 Inspiring Philosophy memberships today. Let's see if we can get to 50 again, guys. That'd be pretty awesome. Mojab has the hikmah of a spoiled tater, says Randy.
Hey, you should say, if you get to 50 memberships today, Fan will dance for the Dawa guys in the shorts he wore in the picture with his wife, but then they photoshopped his wife out of it and said he's just gay.
I don't have those shorts anymore, but somebody on our Discord server suggested that I wear like a maid outfit while I'm deadlifting.
Do it. That'll do it.
So I'll do it. I'll do it if people want to pay for the maid outfit. You'll get a video of me deadlifting 500 pounds in a maid outfit.
Listen, the Dawa guys are gonna lose themselves. I mean, they're just gonna.
That's fine.
Boy.
David, I don't know if you heard this yet, because I'm planning on doing another bodybuilding show this year. So I'm just part of me is just waiting for the Muslims, the Dawa bros, to take pictures of me on stage and then calling me gay as they're looking at pictures of me oiled up, like
Look
shredded
at him, he's
on
all
stage.
oiled up. He's gay.
Okay. What? We need you to be gay because we're also gay for you, Than. It's creepy, man. Please be gay for us. I'm in a discussion on another video with a Muslim who is trying to defend the Surah 86:6-7. The irony of those verses prove Allah is not God. Surah 86.
No, that's 86:6-7 is think about man, what he's created from. He's created from a drop emitted proceeding from between the backbone and ribs.
Yep, it's a pretty good one to show that there's errors in the Quran. I like that one. Yep. That was the first surah allegedly in the timeline, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No, it's 96.
Oh, okay. I'm getting myself confused.
But they're both about creation of man. But yeah, that one's one of the blood clot. You're created from a clot of blood.
Yeah.
Which by the way was connected to some old theories about
two semen,
blood and stuff, and you can see why people would conclude this. Because women have a monthly menstrual cycle and all of a sudden it stops when you're pregnant, and so they were thinking in terms of like a blood clot having something to do with it and stuff like that, and just complete nonsense. But
nice. Mike is an angel. Than is a purple demon. Were you the guy that talked to Muhammad in the cave? Is that what he's trying to say? Because that could be it.
Why is it a purple demon? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's a reference to something.
Allah knows best. Okay, listen. We're up to, thank you, Distracting Games. We're up to 25 Inspiring Philosophy memberships. Pretty awesome. Have a McChicken on me doing a Hobbit-style birthday. Good. Glad you're doing a Hobbit-style birthday. That's pretty base. Pretty awesome. Better than Star Trek. So now we're up to 26. Thank you. 27. Awesome. Hello.
Hey,
and now we're up to 77. Thank you so much, Catholics, more for gifting 50. That was pretty awesome of you. Really, really appreciate the support.
All right, start dancing, Than.
Start dancing.
Shake it. Shake. No, you don't want.
I'm not gonna do that right now. I'll just save it for something wacky, like a maid outfit.
All right. Well, we're only 23 more away from 100 now, guys. So that's the new goal. Awesome. All right. Let's play our first video here. This one blew me a freaking way, man. But I went and checked her Instagram. She took it down. I can't imagine why, given what she says in here. It's pretty messed up.
I haven't watched any of this because you didn't send me anything, by the way, Mike.
Yeah, you're going to hate this one. Get ready for this. Yeah, Than's going blind reaction to this. So keep an eye on his face as we watch these, and you're going to see his head explode. It's going to be pretty horrifying.
Your Muhammad married a 6-year-old girl. He was a warlord. He was a slave owner. And I wish that 6-year-old was me. I swear to God, I wish it was me. And I wish it happened at age even 1, that he would speak for my hand in marriage at age 1. I wish it was me. So if you think you're going to make me think a certain way about him, think again. Islamophobe. Bye.
That's right, folks.
That is so much worse than I anticipated. What in the world? I was not expecting this, Mike. I was expecting this to be like, oh, it's okay, let's justify, blah, blah. No, this girl is like saying, I wish it was me. What? What?
And remember, Than, you're an Islamophobe if you think it's weird for a 53-year-old man to ask for a 1-year-old hand in marriage.
I am the most Islamophobic person there is. That lady, you need help. You need help.
But
oh
Than,
my,
do you really want to be labeled an Islamophobe now?
I already am. I'm already labeled the gay retarded Islamophobe. Like, it doesn't get worse than that, okay?
Well, she took that off her Instagram. I can't imagine why.
Yeah.
But this is like what Islam does to these people. They're like freaking brainwashed to think like that's normal and good. I mean, like, how is this not a cult? How is this not the world's largest cult when you're literally obsessing over this 7th century caravan robber and saying, yes, I wish I could be a 6-year-old child bride. That's the kind of crap you see in cults. Like, that's the kind of crap David Koresh would pull. But Muslims are now saying this about Muhammad.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
No, I want to combine that with the clip from Sheikh Asim al-Hakim, who said the exact same thing, but about one of his daughters. There you have a woman saying it. Yes, I wish he would have done that to me, even if I was 1 year old. And Sheikh Asim al-Hakim, he was asked during a Q&A about Muhammad and Aisha, and he said, if the Prophet told me he wanted my 1-year-old daughter, I would give her to him. It's like, oh my goodness. So here you have it. Here you have it. Now you heard it from both the men and the women.
1 year. Let me see if I can find that. I feel like I can find that really quickly here. 1-year-old daughter. Man, that's pretty messed up. I can't believe this crap.
It's Islam, but we're the bad guys. We're the bad guys because we have a problem with this.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is the right video, but yeah, I gotta find that. That's freaking messed up. But now we also have Canyon Mibbs. You guys know Canyon Mibbs. He's that white convert.
That idiot. He like everything I see from him is like Dawa script from 20 years ago. Yeah. Like he found a website
guy
from
with the
20
curly hair
years
or
ago.
whatever.
He found a website from 20 years ago, and then he just now he's making TikTok videos out of Dawa from 20 years ago. That's all been completely destroyed.
Yeah, he's been crashing out lately, though. Like, seriously, like crashing out. Like, it's been kind of funny. He's been doing videos on Aisha and child marriage for like months now. Like it's kind of getting weird, like how many he's doing. Like, I don't know what's going on with him, but he is crashing out over child marriage. He's been like 3 months ago, he did a video. He was like, for the last time, Islam does not allow child marriage. And I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Like, yes, it does. Like, this isn't even like up for debate. Like, but yeah, for like months, he's now been saying, oh yeah, I'm not done. I'm done with this. I'm done. But then he comes back, he keeps doing it because people are putting pressure on him. So now he's just
not the same pressure that was put on Muhammad on the night of Al-Zut. Just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, here he is, David. He's going to show you. He's got proof that Aisha wasn't a child just because she played with dolls.
Aisha was not a child. Okay, you keep saying, oh, Canyon, she played with dolls. She played with dolls. That clearly makes her a child. No, it doesn't. Are you telling me all of the grown men who go get fake swords and fight each other in LARPing, they're all children? Yeah, they act like children, but they're not actually children. You're telling me that all of the grown women, the 30, 40, 50-year-old women who are collecting Labubus, all of a sudden they're children? No, they're acting like children, but they're not children. Aisha playing with dolls is the worst argument against Islam. Do better. She was not a child.
He's an idiot. He's a bona fide idiot. Hey, can I put something up on the screen real quick? Hang on. I'll get it. Let me get it.
I'm already so stressed out. And we're only 25 minutes in.
That's what we want here, Than. Your pain is for our enjoyment.
All right, toss this up on the screen. You're talking. This is what's weird. In Islam, you're allowed to educate the world about Islam, even if you have absolutely no clue what you're talking about. Adult men aren't forbidden from playing with swords. Adult women are forbidden. It's not allowed. You are not allowed. It's against the rules. If you're an adult woman, because he's like, well, an adult woman can sit there playing with dolls too. Not in Islam. It's forbidden because it's an image. You're not allowed to play with it, right? There was an exception, however. The rule only applied once you reached puberty. And therefore, if she's playing with dolls, you go, but adults can play with swords. Yeah, and adult women are not allowed to play with dolls. And look, here's a hadith right here, 61. This is Sahih al-Bukhari 6130. Narrated Aisha, I used to play with the dolls in the presence of the Prophet, and my girlfriends also used to play with me. When Allah's messenger used to enter my dwelling place, they used to hide themselves. Smart. Run, little girls, hide yourselves when you see Muhammad approaching. He already had the reputation. But the Prophet would call them to join and play with me. He's like, no, I want to see you. I want to see you, all your little girls playing with the dolls, right? But the Prophet would call them to join and play with me. And then you have, this is commentary from the greatest hadith scholar of all time, Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, who says, the playing with the dolls and similar images is forbidden, but it was allowed for Aisha at that time as she was a little girl, not yet reached the age of puberty. He specifically says the reason Aisha was allowed to play with dolls is not because, but adults can play with toys too. So he seems to think the argument, this just means he has no clue what he's talking about. He's never even read like Bukhari. He seems to think the argument is, if Aisha was playing with dolls, she must have been a little kid. Grown-ups don't play with dolls. Ha, 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 we got you. No, that's not. If it was just she was playing with dolls, yeah, you could say maybe she was playing with dolls with young kids around her or something like that. No, adults not allowed to play with dolls. It's forbidden. It's haram. Not allowed. And certainly wouldn't have been allowed in the presence of Muhammad if she had reached puberty.
Yep. It's holy crap. And just so you guys know, like, just to show you like how much Canyon Mibs has been crashing out over this. Let me go to a video from like I made like months ago, like months on child marriage, because he has been crashing out. Hang on, here it is.
Last time, Islam does not allow child marriage.
Are you new to this? Yes, Islam does.
Like, this was, guys, I made this video back in October of 2025. That's when he said,
for the last time.
But he's still doing it because he knows he can't actually justify this, and he's crashing out.
So a prepubescent girl is not a child. I guess you could say that, but now you're just redefining what the word child means. You're just saying, this is what the Muslim cowboy does. Well, it doesn't matter if she was 9 years old. That's a full-grown woman to me. And you can just say whatever you want at that point.
Gosh.
Yeah. Hey, can I share my screen again? Because I can respond to that specifically.
Yep, go for it.
1 second.
Trying to find that video from older millennial. Can't seem to find it.
I just want to pull up a nice little hadith. All right, here it is. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Look at how it appears in Bukhari, which, again, Canyon Mims has not even read. He's educating the world about Islam. He has not read the most basic hadiths from the main hadith collection. Now notice chapter heading here. Chapter, giving one's young children in marriage is permissible. They call it what? Young children. No, Islam doesn't allow child marriage. What's it say? Giving one's young children in marriage. Giving one's young children in marriage. Is that not child marriage? Children, marriage. Children, marriage. What is that? That's child marriage. Islam doesn't allow child marriage. It's literally the title of the chapter in Bukhari. Giving one's young children in marriage is permissible. Why? By virtue of the statement of Allah. And for those who have no monthly courses, i.e. they are still immature, that's Surah 65, verse 4, where Surah 65, verse 4, guys, is where the Quran had already revealed that if a man wants to divorce a woman, she has to wait 3 monthly menstrual cycles before she can marry another guy. People eventually raise some objections. Well, you say if a woman gets divorced, she has to wait 3 monthly menstrual cycles before she marries again. What about wives who don't have a monthly menstrual cycle, either because they're too old, so they've gone through menopause, or they're too young, they're prepubescent, or they're pregnant? So what do you do then? And the ruling for a prepubescent girl, so you've married her, you've had sex with her, you decide to divorce her, how long does the prepubescent girl have to wait before the next guy can marry her and have sex with her? And the Quran says, Allah declares she has to wait 3 months, not 3 monthly menstrual cycles, because she's prepubescent. She has to wait 3 months. And so it says, and the iddah for the girl, notice, before puberty is 3 months. So a girl who gets divorced has to wait 3 months before she can consummate a marriage with another man. Prepubescent girl. And then as an example of this, as an example of marrying a prepubescent girl, we have Sahih Bukhari 5133, narrated Aisha, this coming from Aisha herself, that the Prophet wrote the marriage contract with her when she was 6 years old, and he consummated his marriage when she was 9 years old, and then she remained with him for 9 years, i.e. till his death. Why do we have Dawa clowns on TikTok completely contradicting Islam's main sources and insulting anyone who actually quotes Islamic sources accurately? What is this? Either he's a complete idiot or he's the world's biggest liar. Those are the options. It's the Canyon Mims dilemma.
I'm gonna go with liar. I mean, I just, some of these guys I just have no sympathy for anymore, because the way they just lie, man, like it's just over and over again. It's the same BS, and it's like, how many times do we have debunked this? Like, here's one of the videos he did that kept making the rounds. This was hilarious. I love showing. He got so many replies because he refuted himself. Hang on, let me pull it up. Why is it not loading?
Take your time. Take your time.
Has anybody challenged him to a debate?
9 years old and
Yeah. Oh, Jay Dyer challenged him to a debate, and he wanted like some exorbitant amount of money, because that's what they do. Like,
that's what they do when they don't want to debate.
Yes, otherwise you can't embarrass me.
Yeah, it's how much money is it? How much money would it be worth to me to completely humiliate myself and be destroyed? Got to be a good chunk of money.
Here, just listen carefully to what he says here.
Aisha was not 9 years old, and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, did not marry a child, and I can prove it to you in less than 45 seconds. Point number one.
Watch. I haven't watched this, but I'm familiar with this. They say a bunch of things and don't give sources because
no, it's worse.
It doesn't work. Oh, okay, even worse. Okay,
it's worse.
Worse.
You gotta listen.
That's cool.
Okay, so listen to what he says.
Aisha was not 9 years old, and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, did not marry a child, and I can prove it to you in less than 45 seconds. Point number one. She was 9 years old, but people.
Wait, did he just say she wasn't 9 years old? And then his opening point is she was 9 years old?
Yes.
This is what Dawa does to your brain, people. Aisha was not 9 years old, and I can prove it. First point, she was 9 years old.
This is
You're
what
right.
it does to your
That is
brain.
worse. That is worse. And in fact, I have to say that's even worse than Junior. That's even worse than Junior going, look, girls weren't allowed to play with dolls once they reached puberty. Aisha was playing with dolls. That means she had definitely reached puberty. I thought that was the worst response of all time. But yeah, starting off with Aisha was not 9 years old, and I can prove it. One, she was 9 years old. That's worse. That's worse than Junior.
It is. This is how bad it gets. And yeah, today he decided it would be a really good idea to go another step further and interview one of the biggest liars in Dawa, Sheikh Uthman.
Prove that Aisha was
liars
not
like to
a
work together.
They do, man. I didn't realize how tall Canyon was. He's like real tall.
Whoa,
Look at that,
yeah,
man.
he is.
How tall is Uthman?
He's not tall, but he's probably, yeah, Canyon there. He looks like he's probably my height, like 6'3" or something.
Mm-hmm. Scrawny, but yeah.
Yes.
Can you prove that Aisha was not a child when she married Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in less than 60 seconds?
100% we can. The hadith mentions when the engagement happened, when the marriage was to take place, she was young, so they waited. She waited with her family until she was post-pubescent.
Whoa. Where does it say that, Sheikh Uth liar? Hey, Sheikh Ibn Thibin. Yeah, where does it say they waited until she reached puberty? Give me a source. One, it's not required, because according to the Quran, Surah 65, verse 4, you can marry a prepubescent girl, have sex with her, divorce her, then she can wait 3 months, still be prepubescent, marry the next guy, have sex with him, then he can divorce her, then she has to wait another 3 months and marry the next guy. She could marry 5, 6, 8, 10 men all before she's ever reached puberty, according to the Quran itself. And Sheikh Uthman knows this, and he knows all of the classical Mufassirun, so they're tafsir guys, they all agree with that. And you have Aisha playing with dolls, and we know what that means. We know what that means. If she was playing with dolls, if she's brought to Muhammad's house and playing with dolls, why are they including that detail? That's how you said someone was prepubescent. They were still playing with dolls.
David, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Islamic sources say nothing about puberty. It's about whether or not the girl can, quote unquote, endure sex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the commentators. So that's the commentators when they're establishing Islamic law and stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When they talk about, because Muhammad Ajab will point to this like sort of vague harm principle, and it just says don't harm people. And
yeah, but harming.
You can't do whatever you want with that, right? Like, I mean, you're killing apostates, so you obviously believe in harming people, right? But anyway, he takes that, which isn't directed towards the issue of having sex with girls and stuff like that, but he applies it. But the way they interpreted this in the commentaries, as far as why you might wait, right? Because the Quran just allows sex with prepubescent girls, right? Mm-hmm. So notice, if it's just prepubescent girls, that would, that might be a baby or something, right? So the commentators use things like this harm principle, but they weren't thinking, oh, you might hurt a 9-year-old or something. It's going to hurt the girl or something like that. They were thinking in terms of like seriously damaging her. So they had two concerns. One, if she's so small and delicate that you're going to crush her during sex, she's going to like die because you've crushed her. Don't do that. And two, they were concerned, can she handle it, in the sense of, are you going to cause a fistula? And they described it as making the 2 holes into 1 hole. Like you're going to just rip her until her 2 holes become 1 hole. And so what you do is you'd kind of just play around with her for a while and kind of see when you think she's able to not be torn open by it. And then you could have sex with her. That's what they're waiting for. Sheikh Uthman is a liar. He knows he's lying. And that's why he can't show up to a debate with someone like God Logic or something like that, because this stuff doesn't work. It'll work with a complete lying idiot like Canyon Mims. It will not work with anyone else.
And just so you know, like research on fistulas shows that teenagers account for much higher rates of fistulas. Some studies have shown as high as 86% higher rates. Like this is insane. So like a 9-year-old isn't even a teenager yes, they're going to develop a fistula. Very, very, very high probability of that. So this idea that, like, oh, they're going to figure out if it's safe. It's not safe. Like, it just simply isn't. So the fact that they're even discussing it shows you they know it's a problem, and yet they're still allowing child marriage, which is pretty scary and pathetic. Like, this is
and
really,
so
really bad.
Sheikh Uthman knows he's lying, and he says, oh, she was waiting for puberty. That's his opening line, right? And they waited for her to reach puberty. Liar. Show us the source. They waited for her to reach puberty. Show us the hadith, Sheikh Uthman. You can't, because it doesn't exist.
There's even sources that even, I think, here it is. It's Sunan Abi Dawud 3903, and it's Aisha. My mother intended to make me gain weight to send me to the house, and this just fits in. Like, they basically, again, correct me if I'm wrong, David, but basically what they would do is they would actually try to fatten up these girls.
Yep. Because they had the idea that they didn't want to crush you, so they were like, they wanted you a little chubby, so that you weren't going to crush them during sex.
It's disgusting, man.
It's just, well, I mean, like, the reason, like, Muhammad waited till 9, there's nothing that says it was puberty. We have other indications that there were other things. For example, in Sahih al-Bukhari 3894, it says the Prophet engaged me when I was a girl of 6 years. We went to Medina and stayed at the home of so-and-so. Then I got ill and my hair fell down. Later on, my hair grew again, and my mother came to me while I was playing in a swing with some of my girlfriends. She called me, and I went to her not knowing what she wanted to do to me. She caught me by the hand and made me stand at the door of the house. I was breathless then. And when my breathing became all right, she took some water and rubbed my face and head with it. Then she took me into the house. There in the house, I saw Ansari woman who said, best wishes and Allah's blessing and good luck. Then she entrusted me to them, and they prepared me for the marriage. Unexpectedly, Allah's apostle came to me in the forenoon, and my mother handed me over to him. So
notice, unexpectedly, right? Aisha had no clue what was going on until this guy shows up to bang her. She's a little girl. She's a little girl playing on a swing. She's a little girl playing with dolls and stuff like this. She has no idea what's going on. Muhammad says, hey, come over. We're going into the room. Going to introduce you to what Islam teaches about what we do to little girls. Yeah, not one word about them waiting for puberty. You have two options right there. You pointed out, I got ill and my hair fell out. And others say her hair fell out, and meaning her hair fell out. So she got sick when they moved from Mecca to Medina, and her hair fell out. So you could say, he was waiting a little bit at first when she's like 6 and 7, and then she got sick, and then he waited for her hair to grow back or something like that. That's a possibility. And it's also a possibility that he's just waiting until he thought she could handle it without ripping her open. Those are your only options. According to the Muslim sources, there's nothing that gives the slightest indication that they were waiting for puberty, because the Quran doesn't say you wait for puberty, and none of these texts say they were waiting for puberty at all.
There is another alternative, which Jai gave me. He translated this himself and sent it to him. He said, so the biography of Aisha says this. Abu Bakr and Muhammad are talking. Oh, Messenger of Allah, what prevents you from consummating your marriage with your family? The Messenger of Allah replied, the dowry. So Abu Bakr gave him 12 ounces and wheat. The Messenger of Allah sent it to Aisha. So you have a couple things. He could have been waiting, he thought she was old enough. She wasn't. You have the fact they were moving from Mecca to Medina. That delayed that. You have the fact she got ill, her hair fell out. You have the fact that they didn't have the money for a dowry. When they had that, then he consummated it. So these are all the reasons we see in the Muslim sources that are far better explanation than he was waiting till she was post-pubescent, which again, there's no evidence of that. And all the data shows it would have been biologically impossible. Yes, biologically impossible for any girl to reach the age of puberty before the age of 11. This is what this paper shows here. Evolution, development, in the timing of puberty. You go down to this chart. Let me zoom in on this one. Very important chart. See, 20,000 years ago, the green one is the age of menarche. That's when a girl gets her first period. It's happening younger. Due to poor nutrition, by the time of the agricultural settlement, it's happening later. Medieval period, even later. Today, it's going back down because of better nutrition. Okay? So, based on this, Aisha could not have got her first period until roughly the age of 11, give or take. And on average, you didn't get it to about 14 or 15. which seems to match what we see in the Muslim sources about her still playing with dolls years after she's married to Muhammad. Pretty disgusting. Yep. So yeah, that's what we got, folks. This is insane. But let's get back to Sheikh Ibn Fibbin here.
She was post-puberty when they consummated the marriage.
Trust me, bro.
Ibn Hajar Asqalani and other great scholars have brought clear narrations that say they waited till she was physically past the age of marriage when they consummated their marriage.
Hey, guys.
So obviously,
hey, did you hear what he just said?
Asqalani.
He said Ibn Hajar. He said Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani is the one who added the commentary saying she was a little girl, that she was allowed to continue playing with dolls because she was a little girl, not yet reached the age of puberty.
Yeah.
That was in the other one. That was in 6130.
Oh, I got that one here. Yeah. 6130. Yeah. Right down here. This is Asqalani. The playing with the dolls in similar images is forbidden, but it was allowed for Aisha at the time. She was a little girl, not yet reached the age of puberty.
Yeah.
So
he just said Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. He didn't give a quote. He didn't give a notice, guys. We actually put the evidence on the screen. He says Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani says she had reached puberty. They were waiting for puberty. Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani says she was not. She was still playing with dolls. And he says what that means. It means she was prepubescent. Liar, 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 liar.
He's saying the exact opposite of what the scholar said. How do they do this and how do they go to bed at night knowing they're lying like this to justify the evil in Islam, and they're just leading people to hell, including themselves, and they don't care? This is insane. I don't understand how you can do this.
Hey, you just said you just asked how these guys can go to bed at night. According to Sheikh Uthman, one of his wives who filed a restraining order against him, he goes to bed choking the crap out of her because he's one of those guys that has to be choking a woman to, be aroused, like Andrew Tate.
Holy mother of God. And again, there are so many Islamic sources
hey, Sheikh Uthman, am I lying, buddy? Am I lying? Am I lying? You can sue me for making stuff up, right?
Mm-hmm. That's true. This is on islamweb.net. Yeah, they're saying the same thing. Ibn Hajar, Asqalani, here he is saying, she's allowed to play with dolls because she had not yet reached the age of puberty. I cannot fathom how they can lie knowing they're leading people into Islam based on lies, and yet they think they have the truth on their side. If you have to lie this much, you're working for the devil, especially if you're lying to allow more child marriage. This is insane.
Hey, and keep in mind, you see Sheikh Uthman lying. Oh yes, and he's lying nonstop. He does the reverse. I mean, he's still lying, but he does the reverse with Isaac and Rebecca. Oh, she was definitely 3. Look, let's do the math here. And flat out lies.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Islam. Lie in order to defend a fake prophet. Lie in order to attack true prophets. Muslims, what does it take for you to realize that you are following a demonic antichrist religion? You throw true prophets under the bus to defend an obvious false prophet.
See if there's anything else in this.
They waited for her to no longer be a child, to be of what they considered to be an adult in the sense of marriage, according to the customs and traditions.
Dude, it's just saying words, dude.
Explicitly and clearly mentioned in the hadith itself.
Where?
They waited for her to be an adult in the sense of marriage, and none of that was coherent.
Nope.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, Mike, do you remember when I was debating Kenny Bomer and he was saying stuff just like that? He was going, and it's in the hadith. It's in the hadith that they waited until she reached puberty and she was older. And he's actually saying she was older, like 18 or 19 and stuff like that. Do you remember? Because I cited dozens of hadiths in my opening statement. Then he was saying all this stuff. And I go, you keep saying there's these hadiths that say she was older. Can you give me one? He goes, oh, but there's so many. Just give me one. Oh, but it's too hard to show. Just one. And he wouldn't give one. I turned to the audience. I go, guys, is it, if he's making a claim that something is in the hadith, is it unreasonable for me to just ask for one? Just one? And here's Sheikh Uthman doing the same thing. Oh, yes, it's in the hadith. Where? Show us. We want to see it. Liar.
And by the way, guys, it wasn't normal at the time of Muhammad to marry a 6-year-old or consummate a marriage with a 9-year-old. All we can see in ancient customs is that girls were marrying late teens to early 20s. Just read Brent Shaw, Keith Hopkins, this book, Non-Royal Consanguineous Marriage in Ancient Egypt. They even said that the median age for marriage was 17 and a half for women. Okay. Michael Satlow notes similar findings for Jews in Judea around the same time of Jesus. So when they say Mary was 12, that was probably false. She was probably late teens to early 20s. Amram Troper is saying the same thing, that, yeah, late teens to early 20s for girls. He notes that in Babylon, they were marrying younger, but even they were better than Muhammad because they were marrying their girls like 12 to 14, which is way better than 9. Not good, but still better. We also have, well, yeah, what is it?
Oh, yeah, just after you go through that, put the comment by Donking up there.
Oh, yeah, I'm almost done here. Yeah. Cyrannus of Ephesus, this guy is writing long before Muhammad. He's a physician. He notes that you should not be marrying girls too young because they're too small. They cannot bear children. This was like 2nd century AD, like long before Muhammad. And in the medieval period, Kim Phillips notes the same thing. Yeah, it wasn't this idea that they were marrying girls off super young. They knew that this was not a good idea. She's documented several cases of them waiting to consummate marriages until late teens to early 20s. So this idea that this was just a normal custom, I have so many more sources on this. This is just a tip of the iceberg. But yeah, no one was doing this. Donkus, you said?
Donking, go back 2 comments and then use his... Yeah, look, so I can give you more than one proof the Bible is just as bad. So he said that. Right. Oh, go back before that. To his comment before that. It's just a few back.
Donkus. Yep.
This is like the pot calling the kettle black. You are all in the same sick boat. Okay, Donking, give us your best case that biblically that it's good and fine and acceptable to have sex with a prepubescent girl. Go ahead, Donking. You said
good luck.
You wanted attention.
Fun, man.
You wanted attention. We're giving you the opportunity. Show us your best case.
And by the way, no, it doesn't. You just got to read Ezekiel 16. So he compares Jerusalem has his relationship with Jerusalem as a husband and a wife. And notice what he says about this. When I passed by you and saw your wailing in your blood, I said to you, in your blood, live. I said to you, in your blood, live. I made you flourish like a plant of the field. And you grew up and became tall and arrived at full adornment. Your breasts were formed and your hair had grown, yet you were naked and bare. So then, when I passed by you again and saw, behold, you were at the age for love. So according to God, the age for love does not occur until after the woman has fully formed. She grew up. We know girls do not complete puberty until the ages of 15 to 17, Donkus. Therefore, God is saying the age for lovemaking cannot occur until at least 18 when that process is completed in the period just prior, 15 to 17. So you are blatantly wrong. You have no clue what you're talking about.
And even I pointed out before, like Christianity is significantly more like principle based than like rule for every occasion based. But you have principles like do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Okay. If I were a prepubescent little girl and some creepy old Heaven's Gate looking dude shows up and wants to do something to me, well, I wouldn't want him doing that. Therefore, as a man, you shouldn't do that to other people because you wouldn't like it if you were a little 9-year-old girl and someone did that to you. But no, Donking says he's going to prove it. So Donking's going to prove that you can have sex with 9-year-old girls according to the Bible. The Bible says go ahead and have sex with 9-year-old girls. Go ahead, Donking. What is it, like 5 minutes ago he posted that? And here we are waiting forever?
Yeah, we're waiting, man. We're waiting. We'll do some super chats while we wait. Did you see our boy Issa with Nadir Ahmed? Nadir was trying to turn him against Dawood and bringing in Bart Ehrman. Copium. Issa stood his ground. I haven't seen that. I know he mentioned it last night on your channel, but
I want to see that.
Oh.
Donking said, sorry, girls that have not laid. He's an idiot. I didn't know where he was going to go, but now he's an idiot. Sorry, girls that have not laid next to a man. This is horrible. What an idiot. The girls who had not laid with a man were not part of Balaam's plot. That's why they were not under the sentence, right? Mm-hmm. You sick freak. You interpret protecting the girls because they were not part of Balaam's plot. Therefore, It's talking about banging them, dude. You need to block people like that, man. They're sick.
Yeah, and just so you know, Numbers 31 is not a command from God. If you read scholars like Ken Brown, Robert Alter, Paul Copen, they point out this is actually Moses doing something evil and acting against God's will. He's going against the rules for warfare in Deuteronomy. So he's actually violating.
There's a really important missing piece of the puzzle here, right? In wartime, the battlefield is considered sacred space. And there is a very important rule in early Israeli history regarding sacred space, which is you don't have sex in sacred space.
Well, not only that, according to Deuteronomy, if you wanted to have sex with a captive, you had to marry her. And guess what? You weren't marrying anyone before the age of 12. So, I mean, think about this. According to these guys who yes, it says. So they kept the girls alive who were not part of Balaam's plot, right? They keep these girls alive. And Muslims read this and they go, oh, that means you just had sex with them because that's what you do with your captives, right? Following their reasoning, notice even a baby, even a 1-month-old baby would have survived, right? They would have, because they weren't part of the plot. So they would have kept the one. So they actually think Moses was telling you, yeah, go bang a 1-month-old baby. That's how sick these people are, right? Yeah. Just because they weren't killed. They weren't killed. So you must be banging them. You guys are nuts, man.
And again, also text doesn't say that. So Moses is just saying, keep them alive. He's not saying keep them alive so you can have sex with them or turn them into sex slaves or anything like that.
And even if you would, it would have been when they're older and you marry them.
Yeah. But again, not a command from God. They just lie about what Numbers 31 says. This is coming from Moses. It says he's angry. When Moses is angry, if you go throughout the Hebrew Bible, he's acting against God's will. His anger always gets the best of him and he does evil. Like he kills an Egyptian. He slaughters a bunch of people after the incident with Aaron and the golden calf. Like the idea that this is coming from God is absurd. You have not done any of the research. And just read the chapter. You can see what God commands. He says, take vengeance on Midian. Moses then goes one step further. Scholars are noting he's acting against God's wishes. As we see, it doesn't match what we see in Deuteronomy 20. Therefore, they got nothing. There's no place in the Bible where child marriage is allowed. So they don't know what they're talking about. Here's it. See, Cosmic Ninja says purple demon equals Thanos. You see?
Oh, we get it.
Okay. Thank you, Jack Ray, for gifting another 50 Inspiring Philosophy memberships. That takes us up to 127 now. Pretty awesome. And Pastor Tony gives us another 20. So now we're at 147. Pretty awesome. Thank you guys so much. I think that's a record for us, for that many memberships. God bless everyone. You guys are the best. Thank you so much, child of God. David, I don't think I ever saw you wear a black t-shirt on a live. It looks like it's just your neck and your head floating.
It's actually not black. It's dark blue. So stop lying about me, Ida.
Days ago, it was like, no, she was actually 19. You see now, gosh, I wish that 9-year-old was me. Yeah,
dude, that's wild.
Even if I was 1,
disgusting stuff, man. Inquisition Than must dance a min per membership. You have a lot of mins to dance, apparently.
What is a min?
I'm assuming it's short for minute.
I know. You're supposed to play dumb with me, so that way.
All right. Nope. You have to dance for over 2 hours now, apparently. So get on that.
Oh, man.
To that TikToker, Aisha said she was 6 at the time of marriage, 9 when Mo consummated the marriage. She was a child. Islamic countries are the only countries that even allow child marriage. No, you'll have it in some Eastern nations as well, and some African ones. So it's not just Islam, but it's really Christianity that is the creating culture that's outlawing this. Like, yeah, this is the culture that's really trying to outlaw that kind of stuff. Than, next debate, you need to truffle shuffle.
Yeah. You guys don't even know what the truffle shuffle is, man.
No, I don't know what a truffle shuffle is.
Super old.
You guys never saw them. Goonies, man. The Goonies.
Yeah, the Goonies. Okay, yeah. Now I remember. Yeah, I did see it, but I was like really young.
Yeah, he said first you got to do the truffle shuffle, and he he had to pull his shirt up and shake his belly.
Thank you, Randy, for gifting another 5 inspiring philosophy memberships. Now we're up to 152. It's pretty awesome.
Dang.
Look at all that. That's pretty awesome. What do you think about predestination? I think about it in a Molinist sense. I think about it in a Molinist sense. So check out the video. I have the omniscience paradox debunked. I talk about Molinism in there, and that'll help explain it. So that's a good video where I cover that topic there. We're not going to cover it here. How do we use hadith against Islam when at the same time we saw they're not reliable? Muslims quickly discard hadith in debates once they become problematic. You point out, you use Sahih hadith. You use the Sahih hadith. They can't get around that. If they're going to deny Sahih hadith, they have to throw out their entire methodology in all hadith because they can't trust anything. How could you trust anything if you can't trust a Sahih hadith? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, just to be clear, there are actual Quran only Muslims, right? There are sincere Quran only Muslims, right? So you do have to be aware of that, in which case you'd point out problems with the Quran and you go Surah 65:4 and stuff like that, where the Quran allows sex with prepubescent girls. But most times when Muslims are denying even a Sahih hadith, they're just making stuff up in order to avoid the point.
Mike, can I bring up a comment just to trigger you?
Yeah, go ahead. Deuteronomy 32, the Lord came from Sinai, rose from Seir, and shined forth from Mount Paran. Are you guys retarded? Like, seriously, are you retarded?
I can't tell if it's someone trolling to mess with you or someone's actually, because that is an argument. That is an argument. It's terrible, but
yep,
they do say that.
I have a video I already made on this. It's coming out this month on Deuteronomy 33, showing that Mount Paran has nothing to do with Mecca. It's in southern Israel area. Seir is in Edom. Nothing to do with Jesus. Absolutely nothing. So,
and it's weird when Muslims use this argument, they're actually heretical Trinitarians because it's Yahweh, the Lord, Yahweh, came from Sinai as Moses, rose from Seir as Jesus, and shined from Mount Paran, Muhammad. So either they're heretical Trinitarians who believe that these are the three persons of God, or they believe they're modalists who believe that God appeared as these three people in succession and so on. So, so someone said, not trolling, they're serious about it. Hey, Muslim who's serious about it. It says the Lord. It says the Lord, Yahweh, and you just said Yahweh is Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad, all because you're that desperate to give us evidence for Muhammad. And congratulations, you just committed the worst possible sin, shirk. Good job. Bang up job.
So
this is what you have to do.
Dumb. I mean, Paran is nowhere even near Mecca. These guys just make crap up. Like, if you go to Abraham Fulfilled, they cite like a guy like from like 200 years ago, Adam Clark, saying that Paran is in this area called Arabia Petrea. And they go, oh, you see, he says Paran is in Arabia. They don't realize that it's actually talking about the Roman province. So excuse me, the Roman province, which is Sinai, Jordan area. So but they don't realize that. They just saw Arabia and got excited. They're pretty stupid, man.
They're extremely stupid.
To be a Muslim, you have to be a 3v1 retarded or both. What is the 3v1 supposed to mean? I don't know. Retarded.
Oh, I think that's evil. I think the backwards 3 is the E and then the V and then the L. Evil, retarded, or both. There's no middle ground when it comes.
Yeah. I mean, like, honestly, man, the stuff that they say is, or you have to be completely ignorant. I'll add a third option. Completely ignorant about what your own sources say. Because there are a lot of Muslims that just don't know this stuff, and we bring it up to them for the first times. Islam's greatest scholars: Ibn Ishaq, Al-Tabari, Al-Jalalain, Ibn Sulaiman, Ibn Hazam. Is that how you say that? Ibn Hazam? I don't know.
Ibn Hazm.
Ibn Kathir, Al-Bukhari, all confirm Aisha's age. Yeah, Dawa is deception. Absolutely.
Yeah. We have over 200 hadiths giving her age as 9 when Muhammad consummated the marriage. Over 200. And that's the point. Can you still deny it? Yes. And to be fair, there are serious Muslims who deny it, but they deny it by just saying, look, the hadith's a bunch of garbage, right? It's a bunch of made up nonsense from later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Surplus of a body fat. What did you do, fam? Why'd you do that?
I didn't press anything.
All right. Surplus of body fat for young girls also induces early puberty. I doubt little girls were fat enough to go into early puberty back then. Yeah. So there is some research that shows that, but that's why I cited that study, Evolution, Development, and Timing of Puberty, because again, it would have been biologically impossible for any girl to reach the age of puberty at 9 at that point, Asian menarche specifically, because there was just so much poor nutrition. It just wasn't happening. So the idea,
you even saw in the hadith, Aisha's mother was trying to help her gain weight for marriage. So exactly. Aisha was not a girl who had excess body fat on her.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, does not work either. But let's get to this next video I want to show. Which one is that? No, we got that one. Yeah, just want you guys to know there's no doubt that according to the hadith, if you take the hadith seriously, she was 9.
And also another thing that some people say, La wallah, Aisha was 18. La wallah, Aisha was this. Don't do that. Aisha was 6 and she got consummated at 9. وابن كثير ذكر ذلك قال بالاتفاق. By agreement, by consensus, that this is the age of Aisha when she got consummated in marriage. Don't be apologetic.
Yep. Sorry, Kenny Boomer.
He's saying at least be honest. At least be honest. Don't lie. Don't lie. And by the way, yeah, when he's saying by consensus, yeah. In Ibn Kathir's biography of Muhammad, when he gives the age of Aisha, he said, and this is not disputed by anyone.
Yeah.
So no one disputes this. All of a sudden you get to the 21st century. No, she was older. Come on.
Pathetic, man. Pathetic. Well, where is it? Hold on. I got another one here. This one. Okay. Than, I don't know if you've seen this one, but you just get ready for.
I do not go out of my way to consume cringy like Islam content. So
okay, all right.
I've been spending the last 2 weeks reading like classical Arabic scholars, and that was painful enough. Do you really think I want to watch?
Dawa
this is TikToks.
Okay, so chat. Keep an eye on Than's face as he watches this one. You got to keep an eye on this. This is gonna be pretty bad for him.
You know, Islam was the first society to make child marriage completely illegal.
What? Where?
This is my skeptical face.
Like, is she thinking of like some particular Muslim country or something like that? It wouldn't be because of Islam. Like what you have in Muslim countries, you do have Muslim countries where like the age of marriage and stuff is 16 or 17 or 18 or something like that. That's not because of Islam. That's because of outside pressure. And the normal dynamic is it's the Muslim religious leaders who are flipping out and objecting to it, saying, how are you doing this? You're condemning Muhammad. You're condemning all of Islamic law.
Mm-hmm.
That happens over and over and over again when people try to make laws against child marriage in Muslim countries.
When you think of Islam, do you think of outlawing child marriage? What are you talking about?
No, I thought you were going to say, when I think about Islam, do I think of like stopping child marriage?
Yes.
I don't think that.
No. Yeah. Well, Lily J here says, no, they were the first culture to outlaw child marriage. Can you believe that?
It's because Christians were Muslims. That's why.
I don't know how she can say this when she follows a prophet that basically committed statutory rape with a 9-year-old. Like, I don't understand how she can say something so stupid.
She also follows a fake prophet who worships a god that brags about being the best of deceivers, and a prophet who encourages lying for his religion. And so
that is true. That is true.
Meanwhile, in the USA, over 300,000 child marriages have happened over the past 20 years alone. And the youngest recorded marriage was to a 9-year-old girl called Eunice Winstead. How does that work?
Okay, so this is proof she's basically a grifter. She says in the past, 9 years? And then she talks about Eunice Winstead, which was a marriage that took place in 1937. Do you see how she shifted that? Do you see the lying? Oh yeah, 300,000 child marriages, and one was happening as young as 9. Eunice Winston. No, and by the way, the story behind that is the guy that married her, Charlie Johns. He lied. He faked her age to get the marriage certificate, claiming she was much older. And that story was such a scandal. It caused states like Tennessee to increase the age of marriage to prevent stuff like that from happening. So when it happened, it was a scandal. People were upset. They were outraged by this. But if this was a Muslim country, they'd be like, yeah, that's normal. They're just doing what his prophet told them.
Yeah, that when you just told that story, it reminded me of my my grandfather. He's the guy who was a Green Beret and stuff, but he was bigger than everyone else. He went and joined the military when he was 13. He lied about his age. And then he spent a year in the military. Then they found out his age. Then they kicked him out. Then he had to wait a while, and then he could eventually come back with his mom's permission and stuff like that. But just imagine hearing that story and saying, "Did you know that the United States says you can go fight in the military at 13? Why? Because someone lied."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, obviously. But
dude, she didn't even like substantiate her claim. She started with a claim. Islam gets rid of child marriage or whatever, and then just immediately goes to something just completely unrelated. Are you retarded? I don't even know why I'm about to ask that question. No. Yes, she's retarded.
No, but she's a grift. That's the most obvious video to show someone if you want to prove Lily J is a grifter. Like she knows Islam allows child marriage, so she says the exact opposite is reality. Oh yeah, child marriage is outlawed in Islam. But meanwhile, they're allowing it in the U.S. even recently, like all these marriages, even one as young as 9 guys. Like she's obviously a grifter for Islam. Like she can't be that dumb. I can't get on board with that. She's just a grifter, but she's trying to convince women to become Muslim, where they will be taken advantage of, where they will be abused and their rights will be taken away from them. And then their daughters could end up in child marriages. And she's okay with that because she's making money. There's no level of hell that is good enough for her, because like, this is just insane. Like,
I don't get it. Do other Muslims like call her out for her?
No. When they call her out, it's usually for like not wearing a hijab or something like that. That's what they actually care about.
Yeah, I even saw comments on that video. Sister, you must cover your chest. You're showing too much shape of your body. Like, yeah, that's what they're upset about.
Yeah, why is she going to cover up when that's why people watch her? It's not because of her astounding, awesome points that she makes.
No, she's a grifter. I am thoroughly convinced she's getting a ton of money to just do this crap. Like
she's a grifter that's being used, and then once she's not usable anymore, they're just gonna.
When she's too old, yep, they'll toss her. Than, heard about dates and cucumbers for weight gain? Yeah, that's in the hadith. That what she's trying to fatten up Aisha. We're giving her dates and cucumbers.
Yeah, look, don't go to dates and cucumbers if you want to try to gain weight.
Yeah, can you imagine Weeder weight gainer cucumber edition? Like, just eat 5,000 cucumbers to get your extra calories.
Man.
Quran 65:4, Sahih al-Bukhari 51:33, 61:30, Sahih Muslim 14.
Those are all just sources. We already had 2 of them on the screen, and we mentioned 65:4. Yep.
Yeah, Aisha's age. Yeah, Aisha is what? Fujoshi documenting BL of Momo and Diha.
I don't know what this means.
This is some weird anime stuff. I don't know what's going on. I absolutely love the work y'all do. It has inspired me to grow in my understanding of the faith and to keep growing in my understanding in the future. God bless and keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Quran 2:44, Deuteronomy 22 to 29, Quran 2:113. It's crazy how Allah exposed your hypocrisy, isn't it? Oh, Lord in hell, you're an idiot. Thank you for the jizya, though, buddy. We appreciate you. Deuteronomy 22:28 to 29 is not about child marriage. I just wrote a script on that whole passage.
Man.
Let me where is my hang on. Just read a quote here from
I think this is the person that was crashing out the week that they were crashing out on me the week that you were gone, Mike, because they were trying to do the whole fruit of the vine argument on me.
Look up Surah 244 and Surah 2113. I just want to see what those are. But
244 is part of that passage, 241 to 244, which we use for the Islamic dilemma.
Yeah.
And 2113 is also another verse we use for the Islamic dilemma. It says, and the Jews say the Christians follow nothing true, and the Christians say the Jews follow nothing true, yet both are readers of the scripture. So it's affirming that we have the scripture and asking why we dispute if we're both reading the scripture, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Look at how Muslims dispute, even though they have the same Quran.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't even understand what the heck he's talking about, man.
Well, Deuteronomy 22, 28 to 29, some say that's about God is prescribing grape victims to marry their grapists. Now it just talks about an unbetrothed female. It doesn't say age. It doesn't allow child marriage. That's just reading. If that's what you're implying, you're beyond stupid. What it actually is, like, let me just read a quote here. Okay. So from Paul Heger, this is The Seducer. This is in his paper, The Seducer, and Journal of Ancient Judaism from 2015. He says there's no explicit indication in the biblical text of Deuteronomy 22 that the term refers to grape. Tafas has a great variety of meanings, both in scripture and in Qumran. That range from gentle handling to firm grasping or holding, or a slightly overpowering action, up to combative and coerced acts and violent actions done against the person's will. In other words, it's not about rape. The passage is talking about, and I just wrote a script on this, recorded the VO today. It's talking about a man who like kind of grabs seductively a woman, kind of pulls her in.
And by the way, I think the text demands that interpretation because this is Deuteronomy. It's the second law. It's the retelling of the law. And what this is retelling is from Exodus 22. Interestingly, it's the same chapter, but in Exodus 22, verse 16, this is what Deuteronomy is retelling. It says, if a man seduces a virgin who is not betrothed and sleeps with her, he must pay a dowry for her to be his wife. So, and then the father doesn't have to give her, anyway, but it says if her father absolutely refuses to give her to him, he shall pay money equal to the dowry for virgins. So he still has to pay a dowry, even if the father says, nope, but you seduced her, so you're going to pay anyway. So anyway, that's Deuteronomy. And so use the word, which can have multiple meanings. But if it's a retelling, which is what it is, it's a retelling of the law from earlier, and that's Exodus 22:16. That is clearly referring to a man who uses his ability to seduce the girl into having sex. So nice try, buddy.
And you know, the same word is used with Potiphar's wife grabbing Joseph, trying to seduce him to come to bed. Same word in Genesis 39:12. So yeah, that's not grape. That's not forcing someone to her bed. She's seductively grabbing him, trying to get him in the bed. So it's not about grape. Yeah. So it's not about child marriage, not about grape. Sorry, it doesn't work. It's very, very easy to show. And again, Joel Correcco and I have wrote a script on this. I recorded the VO. Should be out this summer. Do you have any book recommendations on slavery in the Old Testament? Than, do you have any?
Slaves, Women, and Homosexuals by William J. Webb.
William J. Webb is good. Yeah.
It's like it is the fundamental like must read before you read anything else.
You're pretty up on all this research on homosexuals,
man. But I was waiting for
Dawa guys here.
Kind of gave you.
I was waiting for that.
Ain't it ridiculous that you apologists got to prove a pedophilia as being a sin? Pedos and rapists are killed in prison. That shows a hierarchy of sin. Yep.
Yeah, it's saying that we have to actually prove that it's wrong to Muslims, and it's like even prison inmates. I can vouch. Bottom of the barrel was snitches and pedophile child molesters in prison. That was it. You had to check into protective custody because it was not going to go well.
It's pretty disgusting, yeah. If it's within a marriage, it's justified. Legalism. Oh, God. That's another thing that seems to be that Muslims don't understand, which is marital grape. They tend to be like, oh, can you believe Westerners believe in marital grape? Yeah, we do. You just can't grape somebody. If your wife doesn't want...
I wish I still had the video because they end up taking these down. But this was like 2008, 2009. And it was back when I was blogging and stuff. And I shared this video. And it started off so well. The guy goes, did you know that in America you can grape your wife? And I was like, one, no, you can't. But two, I'm glad I'm glad you're about to condemn it anyway. And he goes, how can you rape your wife? She's yours. You can do what you want with her. I'm like, oh crap. And it's like he was rejecting the concept of being able to rape your wife when you're allowed to do whatever you want with her. So
it's pretty disgusting. Momo said no to marriage because Fatima was too young. Yeah. He was kind of one of those guys that had rules for me, but not for thee. Yeah, he can marry Aisha at 6, but his own daughters can't be married off if they're too young, which just shows how horrible of a person he was. Than needs to play his cool instrument, says Dawa Troll.
Oh, my bazooki. I can get it out if you want.
I'm good. No, not for a $2 super chat. Now we need more if we're gonna get a bazooki out. Sounds expensive. Okay, David, maybe it's just Allah making it appear black.
Allah made it theme black.
That's true. That's what he does. Paran equals Parom, and the Muslims conquered Rome. You see? Yes.
This is the proof.
No, they didn't. Anyway.
We was Romans.
Good book and commentary on Acts and Daniel. Good commentary on Daniel is John Walton just came out with one with someone named Aubrey
Did
Buster.
he really?
Oh, yeah. I got the first half. The second half should be out later this year. That's a good one. On Acts, I thought I had one over here. Yeah, I got one here. Book of Acts by F.F. Bruce is good. As well as, what's that book on Acts, Than, that we always cite about
Book
all
of
the
Acts
facts in it?
in its setting of Hellenistic history by Colin Hamer.
Colin Hamer. Yeah, forgot the last name, but yeah.
That, and then I actually really I am actually not too big of a fan of most commentaries on Daniel. I think they just miss a lot of context. Sentinel Apologetics, Rob Rowe, though, has a Daniel commentary that I think is really good. So
it is pretty good. Yeah. I have a copy of that, but you can ask him for that over on Sentinel Apologetics.
Yeah.
All right. So where is this next video I wanted to show? Yeah, here we go. This nut job here.
Why did the Prophet Muhammad married Aisha at the age of 9? And can one use this example to marry young girls?
What'd you say?
Oh, I just said married her at 6 or 7 and then consummated at 9.
Is it?
He's going to give the
red?
best. Yeah, they do that to try to imitate Muhammad. They dye their beards red. You didn't know that? Muhammad had a reddish beard, so Muslims like to dye their beards red, so Allah likes them better. This is Islam, man.
That's why you got all these gingers who convert to Islam.
Yeah. Don't you know, Than, don't you know that the creator of the universe just cares that you dress and act and think like a 7th century Arabian caravan robber? The more you look like him, the better your chances are to get into heaven and get all your virgins you can deflower for eternity.
I'm just
so,
processing.
In Islam, you can you can grape a child at 9. Allah's not going to care. But if you dye your beard red because it looks slightly more like Muhammad, that's going to get you some brownie points. Okay, so think about this. Think about how the ethics work in this religion, man.
Answer this question. It's a good question, and it's an easy question. Now, the why of it, nobody knows except Allah, because
nobody knows except Allah, guys.
Allah knows best. That is a common response to any difficulties. Allah knows best.
It's very convenient that the only person who knew what Allah was saying was Muhammad. Very convenient of him.
Prophet ﷺ never married any woman except it came to him from wahi. What does it mean? What is wahi? The Prophet ﷺ never went around looking at women and select this one or select that one or say, yo, check this out. Tell her I like to marry him or marry her. No. No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, the messenger of Allah ﷺ never spoke anything from himself, but whatsoever he heard from wahi, this is what he did. Now we know that.
Now so let's just explain what happened.
Blaming Allah right there.
Blaming Allah for this. Okay. So according to this knucklehead here, Muhammad never went around selecting women. He waited for Allah to tell him which women he could marry. And the only person that could hear Allah was Muhammad. So he didn't select them. His imaginary friend in his head told him he could have these women.
Yeah.
And first of
all, that's complete idiotic nonsense. He could say it's true in the case of Aisha and of Zainab, because Muhammad did claim that he got a dream or vision where Aisha was given to him on a pillow. And since this was the basis for him proposing when she was 6, this happened at maximum of 6 years old. Could have been earlier. So it could have been a year earlier or something like that. But let's just assume it's as late as it could have been 6. Just imagine you're dreaming and you dream that God is giving you a 6-year-old as a present. That would not,
I would assume
I would not be like, oh, this means I should go bang a little kid. It would be, oh my goodness, I need to go see a psychiatrist because I'm having some screwed up dreams, right? But he had that one. And then when he saw Zainab, who was married to his own adopted son, when he saw her practically naked, then all of a sudden he starts praising Allah. And it's because Allah had given him a revelation. Oh, you're attracted to her, so now she's going to be yours. And so anyway, he can claim that it came from Allah, but it kind of makes Allah look even sicker and more perverted. It's one thing to say Muhammad was a sick pervert. It's another thing to say that the God of Islam wanted Muhammad to have sex with a prepubescent little girl. He just really wanted him to do it, to set a good example for future generations who'd be defending it to this day.
So, clarifying question: what is the point of Jibreel revealing the Quran to Muhammad if Allah can just speak to Muhammad in some way, shape, or form and be like, "Hey, marry a 6-year-old"?
No, he's got to be interpreted this as getting like a vision or something like this.
Okay.
It wouldn't be Allah directly speaking to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, just remember, guys, Muhammad never selected the women he was going to marry. It was Allah
and little girls.
And little girls, yeah. It was Allah who selected it. And the only person who could hear Allah was Muhammad. So we just have to go on what Muhammad said that Allah told him, but he clearly didn't make any of this stuff up. You can trust him. This is Islam, guys. It's based on trust me, bro. Whatever Muhammad said, he got. It's insane.
The Prophet is a man like everybody else, but Allah subdued his nafs.
And we only know that because Muhammad said so. Yeah.
Allah subdued his nafs with wahi, revelation. So he was guided by Allah. He was
we only know that because Muhammad said so. So that's
yeah. And by the way, just imagine how many cult leaders would say the exact same thing, and how many cult followers would then say, "Hey, why is your cult leader banging all these girls and kids? Why is he doing that? Oh, he gets the revelations from God. God's telling him, don't blame. He's just a vessel. He's just a vessel who gets to just bang everyone. But it's just God telling him."
Makes sense, yeah. Totally makes sense, yeah.
He was accompanied by Jibreel alayhi salam.
Yeah, the only reason we know that is because Muhammad said so. Yeah.
His nafs never came up above the revelation. So whatever the Prophet selected to do, he did it through the influence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and through the guidance he received from Jibreel alayhi salam.
Yes, Allah really wanted Muhammad to be banging a child. It was very important for him.
Yeah, this is not making better. Notice the question: Why did Muhammad marry Aisha? Because God made him do it. He didn't want to do it. It's God made him.
Did you hate it when God shows up and says, "I really need you to go bang that child over there"?
I don't want to. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
So why he got Aisha? We don't know that, because where did the order come from? The non-Muslim who's not able to understand and recognize they between the sky and the earth. They suspended because what? They ignorant. They don't know. They don't understand the premise of revelation. So they can't.
Yeah, guys, it's your fault for being stupid.
Yeah. Shame on you non-Muslims. Don't you know it's good to bang prepubescent little girls?
Your hearts are so darkened that you think, raping you little girls is bad. That's what I'm hearing right now.
But there was a second part of that question, which is, should this cause us to think like this now, like that it's okay now? So I don't know if he's going to answer that or not.
We'll see. But yeah, this is we've entered the gaslighting section of this video, where now it's, guys, the non-believers are just stupid. They don't understand how the sky is separated from the earth. You see, like, yeah, okay.
can appreciate that, but those who can appreciate revelation understand that prophets, alayhi salam, were ordered to do things that we don't understand, that we call mu'jiza. We call it miracle, phenomena, because it came from God. So Allah selected Aisha for the prophet.
It's why did Muhammad bang a little girl? Because it's a miracle.
Yes. Yep, I know. You got to pace now. It happens. I get it. Yep, totally. Go pace. Yeah, this is insane. This is this religion you guys follow.
It's a miracle.
Anytime I want to show Islam it came from the devil or from the evil desires of man, I just show them this kind of crap here. This is pure evil. If you think this is going to get you to heaven, you're either stupid or just blinded by your lust and your pride.
Yeah, guys,
that's number one.
Hang on, like think about this. Hey, why did Muhammad, who according to the Quran is the perfect pattern of conduct for people to follow, why did he have sex with a prepubescent 9-year-old girl when he was 54 years old? Can you explain it? And his response is, it's a miracle. Because miracles. We need that. That needs to be like the because. That's why that need to be because miracles. Hey, you need to do one of your little videos where something like this, and the answer is because miracles. That's why.
I'm actually angry right now.
I know.
Holy
You should
crap.
be.
Are you angry? Yeah. If so, you're exactly like IP when he was watching that debate with Kenny Bomer.
Yeah.
He was clear. He was getting
me
visibly really ticked off.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Yes.
God. So Allah selected Aisha for the Prophet ﷺ. That's number one. And when the Prophet ﷺ realized that Allah inclined him towards Aisha, who was Aisha radiallahu anha? She was the daughter of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. And who was Abu Bakr as-Siddiq? Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, he was a well-known man in Mecca, right? Well-known, honest. He was an aristocrat, a very influential man. He was the supporter of the Prophet ﷺ. He was the companion of the Prophet ﷺ. And Aisha was his daughter. So one day the Prophet ﷺ said to him from the inclination he got from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, Abu Bakr, he says, do you love me? Abu Bakr said, Ya Rasulullah, I sacrificed my mother and my family for you. He said, then I would like to ask you for your daughter in marriage. This is very common among the Arabs. Don't think about Norway. Don't think about Europe. Don't think about China. Don't think about America. You think about the Arabs. The Arabs at that time, it was urf. It was.
And what did Abu Bakr say? Oh, yeah, that happens all the time. No. He said, we're like brothers. Why would we do this?
But you're my brother. Don't make me do this. No, we're only brothers in religion. She's lawful for me. Give her to me.
Yeah. And God, if this was normal, it just shows Muhammad was not getting divine revelation. It was just a corrupt product of his culture that was messed up. But we don't have any evidence. All the surrounding cultures understood late teens to early 20s. At the earliest, 12 to 14, which is still bad, but far better than 6 and 9. So no, there's no evidence this was normal. This guy's just a liar. There's no way to put it. He's just making stuff up.
Part of their urf. It was very normal for them to ask for the daughter of a man when she was 9 or 10 so that that daughter could come and move with the family.
That's not what happened, you liar. He married her at 6. He did not ask for her hand when she was 9 or 10. These people just lie.
Well, how else would you be a Dawa guy?
Oh my God.
Sleep with him, but come and move with that family so he could observe her, she could observe him. So by the time she got to the age where she could have sexual relationships and have children and intimacy, they would have already built a bond. Do you understand that? Do you understand that?
What 50-year-old man wants to romantically bond with a 6-year-old? That's your prophet?
A pedophile.
A absolute pedophile. The clinical term would be non-exclusive pedophile.
I'm pretty sure it was not framed around like agape love either. Like when I'm reading the sources, it's basically these are objects that these men have, and that's about it. Because hold on, I'm gonna find something.
Hold up, I'll play a little bit more.
So the Prophet ﷺ, he didn't sneak around someplace and get her phone number. He didn't try to meet with her somewhere. He wasn't eyeballing her. He was not desiring her. This was his best friend. And who was Abu Bakr? Abu Bakr was one of the most respectful people of Mecca, of the Quraysh. So if some crazy, foolish, ignorant, corrupt, hating people wants to call the Prophet ﷺ a pedophile, na'udhu billah, then that means that the mother of Aisha, the father of Aisha, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, and Hani, I forget his wife's name. That means they would have had to facilitate the Prophet ﷺ in doing a pedophile relationship. Would that be correct?
And that's what happened. They were brainwashed and leading a horrible human being who basically they were following a cult leader, and they were just
following his reason. Guess what? That happens all the time in cults, right? Right? He brainwashes them to mindlessly accept anything he says, as you can see right here. Like think Asim al-Hakim said, if Muhammad wanted my 1-year-old, I'd give her my 1-year-old daughter, I'd give her to him. And we saw a clip of a woman saying, "Oh, I wish he'd done that to me, even if I was 1 year old." And then he's using, well, I mean, how could her parents have given her away unless this man was totally legit? This is what just look at cult leaders. For some reason, a pretty high percentage of them end up banging kids. And then guess what? It's their parents who are giving the fake prophet their kids. So no, there must be nothing wrong with it because the parents are involved and they're giving them. Yeah, because you brainwash them.
So these people are so dumb. Just like, I mean, how do you not see this as demonic? I just can't even fathom.
Could two respectful parents, could they have been guilty of something like that?
Yes.
Could Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have inspired the Prophet ﷺ, but somehow or another he fell out of inspiration and he did something like that? No, that could not.
That's right, folks. Allah, it came from Allah. All of those horrible, evil commands. So this is a whole thing. If you're going to reject Muhammad's marriage to Aisha, you have to reject all of Islam because that came from Allah directly. So there is no, because sometimes I'll see Muslims go, well, okay, Muhammad messed up. Okay, that was a problem. Doesn't work because again, this came from Allah directly. So you're saying Allah was in error, not Muhammad.
Following his reasoning there about the parents being involved, I just looked up Jim Jones. Remember him?
Yeah.
Had a big cult, and when it was clear that his cult was going to end, the government was going to step in and mess with him. The government was coming after him. He had everyone drink cyanide laced Kool-Aid, right? Kool-Aid laced with cyanide, right? Some people, some of his followers, to their credit, just took off and ran out into the woods. They're like, whoa, we're not going with this, right? But I looked it up. I looked up how many of them were kids. More than 900 people died in the November 18th, 1978 Jonestown massacre, with over 300 victims being children and minors aged 17 or younger. The youngest victims were infants. So what does this mean? Oh, by the way, 11 1-year-olds. 11 1-year-olds and 12 2-year-olds. What does that mean? That means their parents were doing this.
Yeah.
Why? Because their cult leader told them to. Oh, but if your parents say it's okay, if your parents are on board, you can't, they couldn't be brainwashed. You freaking idiot.
Yeah. And just so we don't get those stupid comments, Jim Jones was an atheist when he was running that cult. Not a Christian.
Be the answer. The answer had to be something different. So Prophet ﷺ could not have been asking to do something that was abnormal. It had to be something that was normal. Now let us look at the fruit that came from the tree so we can understand it. Who was Aisha radiallahu anha? She's the woman that memorized the Quran. When the Quran was revealed, when the last ayats of the Quran, the last 6,636 ayats were revealed, 3 months later, Aisha had memorized the whole Quran.
And if he didn't bang her, she would not have been able to do that.
Yep, you can only, so the only reason anyone else memorized the Quran was because Muhammad banged them. The only way you could memorize the Quran is getting banged by Muhammad, and this is why so many leaders at madrasas are banging so many kids, because they realize that the best way to get a kid to memorize the Quran is to bang them. And bull, Aisha didn't memorize the Quran. Bull.
Think about that. Secondly, let's look at Aisha radiallahu anha. Aisha radiallahu anha, because she lived with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She saw him. She understood him intimately, clearly. Her mind was bright, and she was a powerful young girl, a very aggressive young girl. Powerful, aggressive, and deep and intelligent. Memorized the whole Quran. And guess what?
You had to bang her. That's the only logical explanation.
Bang her, yes. Yeah, this is pretty creepy stuff. But to be fair, yeah, Aisha did get to witness a lot about Islam. And what did Aisha say based on all her great learning about Islam? It's Sahih al-Bukhari 5825. I have not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing women. That's a quote from Aisha, guys. I have not seen any woman that she's ever met, any woman suffering as much as the believing women. She hadn't seen any. Pagan women were treated better by their husbands than Muslim women, according to Aisha, who got to witness it firsthand. And you can't say she didn't know any better. He's here propping her up as the person who knew best, because she got to witness it from Muhammad.
She was holding with her when the Prophet passed away at least 2,600 ahadith that nobody else knew. And that's why after Abu Huraira radiallahu anha, nobody related to us more hadiths than Aisha radiallahu anha. So when you look at the product, when a girl is raped, when a girl is molested, when a girl has been involved in some pedophile type relationship, she becomes dysfunctional. She becomes, something different. She doesn't know herself. She becomes guilty. She becomes dirty. She becomes dysfunctional. And you see the result of it throughout her life. Is that correct or not? No, not our mother Aisha radiallahu anha. She was the teacher of 72 of the companions of the Prophet. She was their teacher, our mother. And when the Prophet passed away,
so just to be clear, that's not actually true. There are plenty of children that have been abused and they recover. It's not a death sentence. Very few have to live with that for their whole lives. Research has shown that actually through proper therapy, support of family and friends, they can actually overcome that stuff. It's not like they're now screwed up for life. For some, it does happen, but that's actually the minority, which is good to know that if anyone is going through, guys, God forbid that happens, it's not like the end all be all. You can get over that and recover from that kind of stuff. So again, guys, just lying, making stuff up again.
Yeah. And by the way, think about this, right? Because the rule in Islam is just speak passionately and people will mindlessly believe you. That goes back to Muhammad. That goes back to Muhammad. It's still the trend. What is he saying that makes sense of having sex with a 9-year-old girl? Nothing. Oh, she passed on lots of hadiths. Okay, so if I think, she memorized the Quran. So if I think banging some 9-year-old girl is going to help her memorize the Quran, I should be going around banging a 9-year-old. Like, what? That has no connection with anything, dude. Yeah. Abu Huraira, he memorized the most hadiths. Okay, so is Muhammad banging him? Is that how he did it?
Obviously. He learned what he learned on the night of the Al-Zut, what he was supposed to do. Went out and did it.
Muhammad is getting banged by Diha al-Kalbi. How many Diha al-Kalbi hadiths do we have? Not a lot. So why do you do that then? Give us an explanation there.
It's a good question.
How many hadiths were passed on by the men of Al-Zut?
She was their teacher, our mother. And when the Prophet passed away, she was only 18 years old, which means she only was married to the Prophet and lived with him 9 years. And when she died, she was a mother of the believers. Is that correct or not? Is that right or not? So that means nobody could marry their mother. So from 18 years old until she was 73 years old, she lived by herself teaching. Which one of the women could do that? So when the people talk stupid, give them some of that history.
Yeah, give us some of that history. We'll love it, guys. It's totally going to throw us off. Please. This is what I mean about Muslim da'i. They don't care about Muslims. The da'i hate Muslims because they prepare you for failure. That kind of stuff is not going to hold up. They prepare you for humiliation. It's insane. So like they don't like you. Like they're preparing you by giving you really bad arguments, and we're the ones telling you the truth. So who actually cares about you here? It's insane. Oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? But yeah, notice he didn't answer the question, David. He didn't answer the question is should this be an example for today? Any of that kind of stuff.
Oh, that was the end?
Yeah, that was the end.
Here's what's messed up, right? Based on what he's saying, you should say, of course. If someone's got a 6-year-old daughter, and I realize that I'm a better teacher than her father, so I should just marry her and start having sex with her, and then she'll learn from me. And then I'd be following the example of Muhammad. People are nuts, man.
Pretty wild. Anyway, sorry, my parents keep texting me for some stupid reason. I don't know what their problem is. Anyway, she can say this because that's why. Yes, exactly. That's the reason, Islam. It's just because that's why.
No, because it's a miracle.
It's a miracle, guys. They spit on the sacrament of matrimony with child marriage, polygamy, and one-night stand marriages. Yeah, the muta marriages, yes. IP let Than have his second temple video. What second temple video are we talking about?
I don't know. Oh, maybe. Oh, people were asking because people for the second temple messianic expectations thing. Because people were asking when is that video coming out, and I was like, it's not going to be second temple messianic expectations. And I told them it's about the mutation argument. And I think people are asking for a video still on the original topic.
That's fine.
Do you remember the miscommunication we had?
Yeah, that's fine. You can still do that. That's fine.
Well, after the Two Powers video comes out, I have a video on Matthew coming out, and then after that, I have a video arguing that the Shema doesn't argue for Tawheed or any. You get the point. So
yeah, as an Abo Aussie, Lily J can kick rocks. Notice I can't curse. That's true. Yeah. The Institutes of Justinian say marriage can only take place when the man having reached years of puberty, 14, and the woman being marriageable age 12, i.e. puberty. Yeah. And by the way, if you read Kim Phillips, you shall note that doesn't mean consummation of marriage. A lot of times the aristocrats would marry they would include clauses in the contract saying consummation couldn't happen to like 17 or 18. Do you have any? We already answered this. Oh wait, yeah, we did answer that. This is before Muhammad was ever born. Yep. Than is flirting with the homies. Is flirting with the homies biblical? That's the question. I thought he was saying you are flirting with the homies because you always do that. So
I think it is.
I disagree. Encyclopedias of what is it?
Oh, the Ijma. Yeah, I have that
Ijma.
source.
In Islamic Jurisprudence, Volume 3, pages 144 to 148, goes over 16 classical scholars, all claiming Ijma that a father can marry off a prepubescent virgin daughter without her consent. Send me that book.
Okay, I will.
Fan. Yeah, send me that. That's I need that. UPS lost my copy of the Islamic Dilemma. Oh well, good things come to those who wait. Yes, they do. Just wait. Sorry, they lost your copy. According to the Sirah by Ibn Ishaq, Sophia was 17 or 18 when she married Muhammad in 628 AD, and Sophia was older than Muhammad. Wouldn't that make Aisha's year of birth after 611 AD?
On what planet was Sophia older than Muhammad? What are you talking about?
That doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
No, Muhammad was in it. Muhammad was already in his 50s.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's some sort of typo here. Why are Muslims obsessed with white Westerners? It's so weird. Didn't Apostate Prophet do a video on this a while ago? He did a video on this.
Probably. Yeah. They really, really like white Western converts.
It's kind of weird, man. It's kind of weird. Maybe that's why they're always hitting on us. Maybe they're trying to get us into Islam. I don't get it.
Maybe that's why they're always lusting after Than. I mean, these guys are like going through like Than's Discord and stuff like this, downloading pictures and then photoshopping them and then passing them around.
We got to get the woman out of the photo. We just want Fan.
Yes,
just
I
wanna
want
look
any
at his-
women in our photos.
Dude,
of
David,
Fan.
I don't know if you heard about this, but like there's a really funny clip. So you know what the awda is in Islam, right? Like the no-no zones you're supposed that you're supposed to look at.
Yeah.
So like a woman's awda is basically like everything but her eyes. A man's awda is depending on the Islamic school, right? Like
Yeah, you were showing yours, man.
yeah. But I didn't know what the word awda was at this point. And there's a clip of Libiano. He's looking at a picture of me on the beach that my wife took of me. And the comments are like, why are you looking at his awda? But me not knowing what awda means, I think they're saying, why are you looking at Than's aura? And this Libiano like justifying looking at my aura.
Oh yeah, that's funny. No, it's funny. I mean, yeah, you've got men and women who aren't supposed to show part, which is interesting because when hijab like pulls off his shirt in front of the Chinese embassy and stuff like that, it's like it's totally haram, man, totally haram. He's like, check out my aura, yes, look at this.
Pretty weird stuff. Islam does believe in predestiny. Yeah, they're very deterministic in Islam. It's like hyper Calvinism. It's kind of messed up. So I guess scholarly consensus doesn't matter, huh? How convenient when I'm doing an internal critique of your book. It says little virgin girl, not women. You don't need to lie. You don't.
Dude, you're retarded. You're honestly retarded. You're trying to do the same thing when it comes to the fruit of the vine argument. Like,
oh God,
this is a basic lexical fallacy. Just because the root word can have within its semantic domain a particular referent does not entail that the referent, when that word is used in a context, is that thing that you want it to be. For example, the word bank. If I say the word bank, it could refer to a financial institution or like a riverbank. Okay. And then if I utter the phrase, I'm going to take my paycheck to the bank, are you really going to be a retard and go, oh, you see, Dan's going to take his paycheck to the river? It's like, no, that's not what's happening. Be better. Sorry. I'm annoyed.
And by the way, once again, you didn't listen to a word we said. Numbers 31 is not a command from God. All he says is to take vengeance on the Midianites. He doesn't command Moses to do the things he does after that. And if you actually go and you read the Torah, you'll see there are plenty of times Moses does things out of line with what God commands or wants. Like you've clearly not even read these books. It's pretty pathetic.
But I read a Dawa website, and that's all that matters.
That is the fact that Christ is God in the flesh addresses that all teachers stand between the student and what is being taught. We fish, they Mohammedans. Thank you for this $20 super chat. The Prophet, blah, 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 Allah, blah, 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 blah. Yes, they're saying the same stuff. It's Allah is Muhammad's sock puppet. Brothers in Filth, Warren Jeffs, Samuel Bateman, Joseph Smith, Muhammad. Why do people in these cults believe God uses sex to exalt people in heaven? I don't know. It's kind of weird. They all sort of revolve around that. It's kind of weird. I don't get it.
It was really weird.
Please stop saying grape and unalive. Yeah, I wish I could, but I don't want videos taken down, man. I don't know what you want from me. This is just what the stupid algorithms force upon
the
us.
algorithm is monitoring the videos, and if it sees you using a lot of words, it doesn't really understand. So it thinks you're talking about some really messed up stuff and possibly advocating it, and all of a sudden you end up with like child restriction or like age restriction or something like that on it. So yeah, you don't want to tick off the algorithm if you can avoid it.
Yeah. Jim Jones used Flavor Aid, not Kool-Aid. This is true, but Allah made it appear as though it was Kool-Aid. So get your facts right. Aisha preserved the Quran by feeding it to her sheep. Yep. This was part of Allah's plan, guys. The Quran was not perfectly preserved because a sheep came in and abrogated it, apparently. Did Aisha recite the parts of the Quran talking about Adam wanting a third valley, or the parts about the 5 or 10 sucklings? Nope.
Well, the verses about the 5 and 10 sucklings, that was what was eaten by the sheep. So a lot of us think this was a conspiracy of Muhammad's wives to get rid of some seriously messed up parts of the Quran.
Yeah, pretty based for Aisha to do that.
As far as the chapter about you know the valley of riches and stuff like that, Abu Musa said Muslims were too lazy to recite it. He said we hardened our hearts, and he warns other Muslims, don't harden your hearts like we did, and then we lost entire chapters of the Quran.
Phil says the lengths they go to defend this, it's vile. It is, absolutely. You have Muslims in the chat trying to defend this. It's pretty messed up. I mean, they got to get out of that cult mentality and realize how evil this is and how many young girls this can affect and will affect in the future because Islam is evil. Muslims defending Momo's sick behavior while us Christians are trying to live up to perfect moral example that Jesus exemplified in his followers. Yeah, compare the life of Jesus in the New Testament with Muhammad. There's no comparison. Jesus wins every time. He's clearly better on every metric. He said, Muhammad salami sam 47 times in 5 minutes. What are you talking about? What?
The guy we just watched.
Oh my gosh. Can we get Than to dress up as Lily J and do a Muslim teacher short? Yeah, do that. Yeah. Then you have to hear about.
Hey, you know, our friend L has a character called Silly J, where she dresses up like Lily J, and you should get her in one of those little things to one of those little skits to make fun of Lily J doing that.
Correction in my super chat, Safiya was older than Aisha. So I think what he was saying, as I go back to it, is according to the Sirah, Safiya was 17 or 18 when she married Muhammad, and Safiya was older than Aisha. When did that make Aisha's year of birth after 611 AD?
I mean, Aisha's birth, according to the standard account, would have been after 611. So I think he's presenting like another line of evidence, basically.
I see.
But yeah. So yeah, if you wanted to do the math and stuff like this, but yeah, Aisha was born after 611. So Muhammad died in 632, and Aisha was 18 when he died. So she would have been born around 614 or so.
Yeah. The fair-skinned Muslims in South Africa treated dark-skinned Muslims so differently. Yeah, there's a lot of that racism happening in the Muslim community. We've heard about stories about Arab Muslims getting better treatment in Africa than African Muslims. It's all pretty messed up. And we've heard stories of even like non-Arabs, not getting treated well. It's pretty messed up. I don't know. Than, don't bother using big words explaining this. LOL, his brain will explode. That dude has no idea what you said at all. Shoe size IQ.
What big words did I use?
All your nerd words you always use.
I didn't use any nerd words.
No, you're always like people like, hey, well, explain this, Than, and you're always like, well, the conglomeration of the hypotenuse will differentiate the parallelogram anytime the concept.
I said the word
emulate the ordinary effervescence.
Semantic range. This is my gosh. Semantic range. He's crashing out again. I said Deuteronomy. No, dude, you're legitimately stupid.
Yeah.
How are you a functioning adult? Like, thank you for the jizya, but how are you a functioning adult? I said you did this in the last stream with the fruit of the vine argument. I am not saying you did this in the last soup. Like, not only can you just not read properly, apparently, and function properly and understand how language works, but you also just can't hear me, apparently.
Yeah.
Like, holy moly, man.
And by the way, we addressed the Deuteronomy 22 passage. That's not about little girls. You're just lying. Like, you're just flat out lying, man. I don't have to tell you. You don't even know. I don't think you even read the Bible. Like, it's pretty clear you're just getting all this information from Dawa websites.
Yeah, take the hawk out of your name, man. Take the hawk out of your name.
It's amazing how many times we talk to Muslims and they'll just assume Islamic principles. Like they'll assume like the prophets don't commit major sins as a principle we hold to, which is just blatantly false. Other than Jesus, prophets committed major sins. Like, Jesus is the only perfect one. So we'll bring up the fact that, Moses did evil, and they'll freak out like that's somehow violating something that Christianity teaches, which is false.
Yeah, they did this to Big John Steele recently because they're like, well, Moses did this thing that you would say it's bad. Do you reject? Do you say Moses? Do you want to say like you reject that Moses is a morally perfect man because of this? And Big John Steele's like, yeah, I think Moses shouldn't have done that. And they just all freaked out on him. Like,
yeah.
Ooh.
And what's absolutely insane is they'll be sitting there arguing, trying to make a case that Rebecca's 3, trying to make a case that Moses was saying have sex with little girls and stuff like this. And their prophet affirms this as the word of God, which means they actually want that to be the case. They want it. They want it to be true. In other words, in order to defend one fake prophet who was a child molester, they want all prophets to be child molesters just because it'll make them feel better about their own prophet. It's like, you guys are sick, man.
Fake prophet. Thank you for the generous $100 super chat. Tracer, Eraser, Laser. God bless y'all. Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
What about
Christian Gadfly does the best Lily J impersonation.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have to hear it.
It's pretty good.
Oh, it's good. It's
well, he actually
good,
puts on a costume and has fake boobs and everything.
It's pretty messed up. Yeah.
Don't let the
Colorism.
guy see that. We look, he's clearly gay. Look at how he's dressed. That's what they do to me. I'll put on something to make fun of Muhammad dressing up in his wife's garments, and they'll be like, "Look!" They'll just screenshot it. They won't say it's me making fun of their prophet. They'll go, "Look, he's a cross dresser. What is this?"
Oh, they did that to me when I wore a wig one time. Like I was in normal clothes, I just put on a wig, and they're like, "Oh, look, he's cross-dressing. He's wearing a wig." It's like
he's acting more like our prophet. You see. He's converting to Islam. He's seeing the truth of Islam.
Black Dog says colorism, dark skin and fair skin is more prevalent in universal than racism. Bob says, I remember seeing a video of an Arab woman in Sudan saying they needed to purify the genes of the native groups or something like that. Yeah, that's pretty messed up. There's a lot of racism in the world, and yet a lot of racism outside of the U.S. I've noticed, and yet we're called a very racist country when we are in fact not. Lord showed a brother on Twitter, Blaine Red 57304 something. Beloved Jewish brought Lamb of God into the world. What,
guys? It makes it really hard to read super chats.
Man, I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time understanding what I'm.
This sounds like there's some sort of conversation happening on Twitter that I'm not aware about, and I need to know that context to read this super chat because I have no clue what this is talking about, man. Sorry. Can't really help you out here. Beloved Jewish brought.
I'm kind of getting it. They're trying to tie Lamb of God being Jesus. So beloved Jews brought the Lamb of God into the world, and that's greater than Lucifer. And then you have beloved Jewish brought poison lamb into the camp. I'm assuming that's the poison lamb that they used that a Jewish woman used to poison Muhammad. And that's greater than Lucifer's prophet. I think
there's a lot. I'm guessing
guys,
that's the
guys,
best
quit writing comments like that where we have to decipher it.
This is not a puzzle. This is not a puzzle for us. You make it simple. Can you show the Muslims the part of the Bible that says not to cross-dress? Can Muslims explain why Muhammad does this? Yeah, it's in Deuteronomy. Hold on. Yeah, Deuteronomy 22:5.
Well, Muhammad said he would receive revelations when he was wearing Aisha's garments, but he also would wear his other wives' garments where he wouldn't receive revelations. So, guess he just liked to prance around in women's garments.
A woman shall not wear a man's garment, nor shall a man wear a woman's cloak. For whoever does these things, it's an abomination to the Lord God. So there you have it, folks. Muhammad was an abomination to the Lord your God. Case closed. Can't be a prophet. Sorry, Muslims. Game over. D Wood, just curious, how is Nabil's family doing?
If you mean his parents, not familiar. Last I heard from his sister was several years ago, and that was from my wife. She seemed to be doing well, and yep, Michelle's remarried and stuff. So that's about all I know.
That's all we know, folks. All right, so I'll be live on David Wood's channel tomorrow. We'll be going over some Daniel 2 stuff. Should be interesting. Should be fun. So head over there. Let me. Hey, Than, who's live right now?
What you think?
What do you not know this stuff? What do I have you here for?
Nerds.
Let's see. Word and I's live. Let's go rate him.
Rate him.
Rating Word and I once. I gotta get set up.
Do you need the link?
No, I got the link. I'm already on it. All right. So
why are you asking me the questions you already have the answer to?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Let's see, reader. There we go. Yep. All good on that. Good. All right. We will redirect to Word and I. Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow on David Wood's channel, and we will see you live later. You're going to be live tomorrow, right, Than?
Yes. I'm going to be live tomorrow, 12 Central Time. Me and Caleb Jackson are going to go over the argument from Miracles and take guests if people want to join to go over that stuff.
All right. Sounds good. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
You made it to the end of this video, which means this message matters to you. If you want to see more content like this reaching people for Christ, you can help make it happen. Your support makes these videos possible. Click the link below and donate today. And if you want to go even deeper, consider joining our Patreon community. You'll get early access to videos, behind-the-scenes content, and a place to connect with others passionate about this mission.